Hello everyone, peace be upon you all. Welcome to the 5th stream where we read this book, Linguistics, an Introduction. We are still in chapter 2. One moment. Let me check the stream. So we are learning about phonetics. Let's check out quickly our section, types of phones, then some additional features. We are in the some additional features of sounds in chapter 2. Cool. We stopped at co-articulation. It says it was mentioned above that the W sound of English is produced with simultaneous movement of the lips and of the back of the tongue towards the velum. Such sounds with simultaneous constriction at two places of articulation involve co-articulation or double articulation. Stops and nasals can also be co-articulated. The most common are bilabial-velar combinations. Various languages of West Africa have such phones. Idoma, which is a Niger-Congo language found in Nigeria, has co-articulated voiceless and voiced stops and co-articulated nasals. And a co-articulated nasal. 1. Akpa, 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 akpa. They are pronounced at the same time, I think. Agba, agba, agba. It's difficult to do them at the same time. And angma, which means bridge, jaw, and body painting, respectively. Other combinations are rarer. Yeli Dinya, which is a Papuan language found in Rosul Island, also has bilabial alveolar co-articulated stops and nasals in addition to labiovelars, as in peony, lung, and no, bird. Perhaps the most unusual co-articulated phone is found in Wari, which is a Chapacura-Wanham language found in Brazil. A voiceless dental stop co-articulated with a voiceless bilabial trill. How is this pronounced? Let's try. Voiceless dental stop. With voiceless bilabial trill. I can do each separately. The one t, and the other p. So anyway, diphthongs. Vowels are produced with the tongue in a relatively steady state throughout their articulation. A diphthong is produced when instead the tongue is in constant motion throughout, traveling from one vowel position to another. English dialects generally have a fair number of diphthongs, as can be seen in Table 2.3. There are additional minor differences in the beginning and end points of the diphthongs that are not shown. Bowed, loud, grow, oh, boy, quoit. What is this word? It's the first time seeing it in my life. They say, my, dry, beer, leer, hair, lair, poor, boor, higher, pyre. Some words that I don't know here. Quoit and leer and boor and pyre. Anyway, syllables. The most important chapters for me are morphology, lexicon, syntax, and meaning. The other chapters are useful for sure, but for more like general knowledge. What I really need is to understand morphology, syntax, and semantics deeply. We will read bigger handbooks on these subjects after this book, starting with morphology. Anyway, syllables. Phones combine into larger units called syllables. Syllables are surprisingly difficult to characterize precisely, and there is disagreement among phoneticians concerning their definition. Nevertheless, syllables seem to have more psychological reality for speakers than do phones. What does this mean? Syllables seem to have more psychological reality for speakers than do phones. Oh. In other words, people can recognize sounds as syllables, not phones. So, combine, people would think that these are two sounds, com and bine. So, syllables seem to have more psychological reality for speakers. Speakers feel psychologically that syllables are more real than phones. And native speakers of any language are usually able to divide spoken utterances into syllables without difficulty. For instance, the word phonetics has 3 syllables. Phonetics. The boundaries of which are indicated by dots. Phonetics. Even if you are not a native speaker of a language, it is not normally too difficult to guess what the syllable division of a word is. The Gunyandi word grilli, or gurili, it could be pronounced gurili or gurili, I don't know how, which means tree, has 3 syllables, and you can probably guess what they are. Gi, ri, li. Syllables generally consist of a vowel together with one or more consonants, usually before the vowel, sometimes after it. Some languages allow syllables consisting of just a vowel. Okay. What's that sound? Someone is knocking in the street. Knocking at what? Some allow syllables consisting of a consonant, generally a nasal or lateral. English has syllables of both of these types. Consider about and medal. These words also illustrate syllables with a consonant before and after the vowel, or a diphthong. Where's the diphthong? Diphthong, middle. About. Oh, the about. The A and. We said the diphthong is the vowels, double vowels, in other words. That is CVC syllables, where C stands for consonant and V for vowel or diphthong. Okay. This is just V. And this is CVC. And this is CVC. And just C. CVC seems to be the most common. English has a considerable number of syllable types, including CV, CVC, V, VC, CCV, and C, and thousands of possible syllables. Languages differ considerably in terms of the syllable types they allow. In Gunyandi, all syllables must contain a vowel. Usually it is preceded by a consonant, giving the most common form of the syllable CV. Syllables can, however, also end in consonants. In Gunyandi, CV syllables are the most common syllables in human languages. Not the CVC, it is the CV, and are the most frequent in most languages. Now, section 5, prosodies. I believe that I have read somewhere that prosodies are the music of words, or something along these lines. Vowels and consonants are segments that come one after another in speech. although the boundaries between them are generally not precisely delimited as we have seen. Some phonetic properties are spread over sequences of phones. Some phonetic properties are spread over sequences of phones. Okay. So, certain property, not in one phone or two phones. I guess two phones would work. More than one phone, spread over sequences of phones. These are called prosodies or suprasegmentals. Two prosodies are discussed in this section: pitch and stress. Others include loudness, tempo, length, and rhythm. First, pitch. Pitch refers to the frequency of vibration of the vocal folds. When you speak, the pitch varies from moment to moment. Variations in pitch are used in two main ways in language: to distinguish between words and to convey different inflections. What does inflection mean? These are two. Why are they treated as two? Inflections on the meaning of an utterance. Okay, one moment. Okay, cool. So let's see what this word means. A change in the form of a word, typically the ending, to express a grammatical function or attribute such as tense, mood, person, number, case, and gender. The modulation of intonation or pitch in the voice. She spoke slowly and without inflection. So it is a change of pitch. No. Variations in pitch are used in two main ways in language: to distinguish between words and to convey different inflections on the meaning of an utterance. This phrase, I don't understand this phrase. And to convey different inflections on the meaning of an utterance. And to convey different inflections on the meaning of an utterance. Maybe it means like I don't know. In the former case, we speak of tone. In the latter, of intonation. Okay, we will understand later. Tone. Many languages use different patterns of pitch to distinguish words. These pitch differences are called tones. Languages that use tones are called tone languages. Cantonese, which is a Sino-Tibetan language found in China, is like many nearby languages a tone language. Differences in the pitch on the syllable C give 6 different words with high falling tone. It is the word poem. With mid-level to try, with low-level matter and extra low time, with high rising to cause, with mid-rising city. In fact, Cantonese has 3 more tones, making 9 in total. Wow. That is very interesting. Intonation. I just want to help you understand something perhaps you don't know. A high tone is like and the low tone is like So a high falling tone is like going from high to low. Then we have mid-level, which is the normal level, and the low level, low, and then extra low, and the high rising, which goes from low, and mid rising, mid. So these are the different tones that are presented here. But there is three more that he did not present. Intonation. All languages use variation in pitch over an utterance to convey modulations of the meaning or expressed by the words. To convey modulations of the meaning convey what does he mean with modulation? Modification? Okay. To convey modifications of the meaning expressed by the words. If you say "I'll see you tomorrow" as a plain statement, you will probably say it with a full of pitch at the end. I'll see you tomorrow. If you want to ask your friend whether they will be coming into the university on the following day, you would normally utter it with a rise in pitch on the final word. I'll see you tomorrow. Like this. Produced with a rising, falling intonation on tomorrow. 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 The utterance would convey a degree of insistence. Insistence. Tomorrow. 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 I'll see you tomorrow. Oh, I noticed it. I'll see you tomorrow. Pitch variations also convey other kinds of information, including information about grammatical structure and the speaker's emotional state. For example, whether they are angry, happy, or sad. The different intonation patterns and the variations of meaning that are expressed by them are difficult to specify exactly and differ somewhat among dialects of English as well as between languages. For instance, in my dialect, Australian English, ordinary statements are often made on a rising intonation contour, which generally signifies a question in other dialects. Interesting. So let's see the phrase that we did not get. To distinguish between words, that is tone, and to convey different inflections. On the inflections, you need differences. In other words, modifications on the meaning of an utterance. Okay, I understood somewhat, I hope. Now stress. Syllables can be produced with different degrees of forcefulness or lung energy. Okay. Normally accompanied with, one second, I'm thinking what's after phonology, how to establish the phonemes of a language and transcription. Okay, they are 8 sections. I think we will... No, never mind. Syllables can be produced with different degrees of forcefulness or lung energy, normally accompanied by differences in the tension of the vocal folds. Increasing the energy gives greater intensity, loudness, and usually higher pitch. Syllables with greater energy are called stressed syllables, indicated in the IPA by this, before the syllable. Other phonetic differences sometimes correlate with stress. For instance, In English, the vowel of an unstressed syllable is often schwa, as in the usual unstressed utterance of the words such as the and a, and the second syllable of pharma. This vowel normally does not occur in stressed syllables. I don't understand. For instance, in English, other phonetic differences sometimes correlate with stress. Okay. For instance, in English, the vowel of an unstressed syllable is often schwa, as in the usual unstressed utterance of the words the and a. And the second, how would a stressed the be? Never mind. The second syllable of pharma. This vowel normally does not occur in stressed syllables. But why is the F considered stressed? Pharma. In some languages, stress always falls, but you still did not give us an example of stress. In some languages, stress always falls on a particular syllable of the word. In most Australian languages, the first syllable of a word is always stressed. The following examples from Wal Majari, which is a Pama-Nyungan language found in Australia, illustrate this. Ngarpu, which means father, and kurapa, hand, and matuara, river. As the last example shows, the third syllable of a word with 4 syllables is also stressed. Is this a stress symbol? But it's below, not above. The third syllable of a word with 4 syllables is also stressed, though usually less strongly than the first, indicated by the lower symbol. Okay. Stress in Hungarian also goes to the first syllable in a word. What? Sorry, I lost concentration. Stress in Hungarian also goes to the first syllable of word. What? Okay, sorry. It is the first syllable. Stress is in the first syllable. Goes to the first syllable of word. In Hungarian and in Australian languages. In Swahili, which is a Niger-Congo language found in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and Polish, which is an Indo-European language found in Poland. By contrast, it is the second last syllable of a word that normally gets stress. Okay, cool. In English, stress is not predictable and goes on different syllables, depending on the word. Compare the placement in the three trisyllabic words, where the stressed syllable is bolded. Photograph, diploma, disagree. I'm not feeling the stress. Photograph, photograph, photograph. Diploma. Disagree. Agree. 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 Disagree. There are a fair number of pairs of nouns and verbs in English that are distinguished by placement of stress. Stress goes on the first syllable of the noun, as in import and convict and an insult, but on the second syllable of the corresponding verb, to import, to convict, 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 to insult, insult, insult. I'm starting to get it by the import, import, import. Okay. Section 6. Finished 5 sections and starting with section 6. I hope to finish this chapter today. How many phones does English have? Every time you utter a word or sentence, there will be slight differences in the precise configuration of your vocal tract and the surrounding air. With sufficiently accurate instruments, you could find minor differences in the shape of the vocal tract and in the sound wave. It's a bit like not being able to step into the same river twice. In this sense, you might say that English effectively has an unlimited number of phones. Many of the differences are too small to be perceived. Some differences are perceptible in principle, that is, are within the distinguishing capabilities of the human ear, but are ignored by speakers. Phonology investigates the sound differences that are linguistically relevant in a language, and how the sound pattern as a system. I'm not understanding here. I am Mr. Understand. should I stop here and continue later? We are in page 44. I'm kind of tired. It is 7 a.m. Should we stop or should we not stop? Okay, I'll stop. Thank you guys for watching and see you next time. Goodbye. We'll start with phonology. Hopefully we will finish the chapter next time. Bye bye.